Joe Rogan is a very popular entertainer and has an impressive income. He makes an estimated $80 million a year, making him one of the highest earners in his field. The majority of Rogan's income is said to come from his podcast. His wildly popular podcast is estimated to bring him around $75 million a year. Rogan also earns a significant amount from his YouTube channel. His showbiz gigs, sponsorships, and endorsements add more to the pile. On top of that, Joe Rogan has landed 2 multi-million-dollar deals. One was with Spotify, and the other was with his popular television show Fear Factor. All in all, Joe Rogan earns around over $80 million a year. Rogan's podcast alone is estimated to draw in $75 million annually, and all other revenue streams make up the remainder. Rogan's success is not limited to just money. His reach in the entertainment industry is widely recognized. His podcast receives millions of downloads every month, and his YouTube channel has a fan base of millions. He is also known for his appearances on television programs and in movies. His success has visible effects on his lifestyle. His net worth is estimated to be around $100 million. Joe Rogan is the host of the very popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience. The show has been running since 2009 and it has grown to become one of the most popular and well-known podcast series in the world. Joe Rogan started his career as a stand-up comedian on stage and then he transitioned to television through his stints on shows such as Fear Factor. Joe Rogan is estimated to make over $80 million annually from his podcast, television, and movie appearances, endorsements, sponsorships, and other income streams. Joe Rogan has a considerable fan base on his podcast, YouTube channel, and other mediums. Millions of people tune in each week to hear his thoughts on various topics. Joe Rogan made a 2-year deal with Spotify worth around $100 million. The deal made him the highest-paid podcast host in the world. Joe Rogan is said to be making around $75 million annually from his podcast alone. The podcast is estimated to get between 15 to 20 million downloads a month. In addition to his podcast, Rogan also makes a good deal of money from his deals with YouTube and TV gigs. He makes a considerable amount of money from endorsements and sponsorships. Joe Rogan's estimated net worth is around $100 million, and his annual salary is between $80 to $90 million. Joe Rogan's success and income much surpasses many of his peers in the entertainment industry. He is one of the most successful entertainers in the world. Joe Rogan has been consistently making millions every year for the past few years. His estimated income for 2020 is around $80 million. Joe Rogan has seen success through multiple income streams: television, movies, endorsements, sponsorships, YouTube, and more. Joe Rogan is said to make most of his money from his podcast, which brings him around $75 million per year. Being one of the highest-paid entertainers in the world, Joe Rogan has made the most of his career. His estimated annual salary is around $80 million and his net worth is estimated to be at $100 million. Joe Rogan signed a 2-year deal with Spotify which is speculated to be worth around $100 million. Joe Rogan is not the only one making millions in his field. Many of his peers are making sizable annual incomes as well. Joe Rogan is a well-known entertainer and his income shows that he is one of the most successful and highest paid in his field.